Let's move the conversation back to the USSR, because Elton John is with us this morning.
No, that's actually up the north. I just want to say, well, the poor people up north always have to suffer in these things, don't they? It's always the people up north. You know?
Oh, who eat badly and things like that.
Oh, I mean, really, I mean, someone should just shove a custard pie in Edwina Currie's face. I'm sorry. I mean, I hate being talked down to, and she is terrible. I'm sorry.
Is it because you've got a guilty conscience because actually you like fatty breakfasts?
Well, I'm a fatty anyway, but I mean, no, I just think that people like Edwina Currie are just dreadful. Sorry. End of story.
And of course, up north,
well, let's cover that subject.
I know you fancy her, Mike. I mean, but why is that?
I don't know where you get that.
That was in the break, Mike. No. A tigress, you said she was. Yes.
I remain strictly neutral on all topics, Elton. You should know that. What happened to Watford last year, by the way?
We went down, which is more we can say for Edwina Currie.
Yeah. So we can say that of your heels, can't we?
Yes, we can't. No,
children.
Yeah.
Can I call some order here?
Yeah,
now, I wanted to ask you about Russia, because you were one of the very first people to take rock music, British rock music.
Actually, I wasn't.
Cliff
went years before me.
Did he?
And I got a BPI award about 3 years ago. And about a couple of years ago, Wham and I got this dual award, which I stayed. I was going to go on holiday, and I stayed behind because I said it was the most important thing that I was ever going to achieve and get. And it was a dual award for going to Russia, and they went to China, so we got this award from Norman Tebbit, and fabulous.
Wonderful.
Thank you. And actually, Cliff's been there so many times before me, and he sat there in the front row going, "What's going on?"
Oh, it's a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame, because Cliff actually, of all the artists in this country, Cliff's has broken down more barriers than anybody else, because he's been at it long enough. I mean, longer than we all have. But he's actually been all the places that we say we've been to. Cliff's been there about 10 years beforehand, so all credit to him.
Huge headline-making days are over, and he's passed that on to people.
No,
like
I don't think so. I think it's just that when I went to Russia, it did make the front page of the Times and the LA Times and New York Times, because the kids crowded into the street, and the police didn't take any notice, and they let them crowd into the street. And Ray Cooper and I, that was the tour, just two of us together. We're throwing flowers from the balcony in Leningrad, and my mother saying, well, you'll be better off throwing them tomatoes because they can't get any in the shops. It was a wonderful experience. I loved it. I loved the Russian people. I adored the Russian people.
Did you really meet them properly?
Yes, absolutely. They, when you go there for 10 days, I mean, we walked around Leningrad and in Moscow. They're very, very similar to American people. You know, when you get on an airliner, it's an old word, isn't it, an airliner, at the aerodrome, and you get on a plane and you sit next to American, and they say, well, if you're ever in our place, visit us, and they're very sort of hospitable.
Oh, very.
And you take them up on it. And then when they come over here, you think, oh, God, I've got to put them up. The Russians are very similar to America. They're very generous and very, very soulful, very proud people. And I really enjoyed it a lot. I'd love to go back.
I suppose they're also aware of the image they have had with us in the past, and they desperately want to put that right. We're not the strange people that you think
I never encountered that. They just came across as normal human beings to me, that just like music, and we're very happy people. I mean, when I came back, because of all these sort of headlines we caused, I had a press conference at Heathrow, and the first question I was asked was, what do you think of communism? And actually, after the first 10 minutes, when you go, well, is my room bugged, which of course it is, and they've got trees here, which is, you go abroad to a communist country with all these stupid ideas, and after 10 minutes you forget them.
Well, you weren't expecting any trees?
Well, no, when you go to East Berlin, you don't see any trees.
No, that's true.
You tend to think everything's like East Berlin, which is very, very sort of severe. And Russia was delightful.
Yes,
it's wonderful.
and it's looked beautiful. Interestingly as well, while we're on the subject, you've met President Reagan.
Yes, I have. Yes.
On a very important day.
Well, I sort of had this message that he would like to see me, and it was on the same day as that the American embassy in Beirut was just sort of bombed. And it was an extraordinary state of affairs. I couldn't understand why he would take 10 minutes of his time to see me, but he did. And,
what did he talk to you about?
I can't remember. I just kept looking at him to see how, what was the secret of his success, really. Sort of like, he's an extraordinary looking man, and he looks very healthy. And when you meet somebody like, it's very easy to ridicule President Reagan. But when you meet someone that powerful, you just can't stop looking at them. It's incredible. It's a really fascinating, yeah.
Well, you mean he's powerful, or was it the position that he has, President of the USA? Which is the powerful thing, you think?
Well, he's the president of one of the most powerful countries in the world, and no matter what you think of him and what his politics are, when you meet him, it's quite an extraordinary experience to be in the Oval Office. you can't really sort of comprehend what's going on.
Did you meet Nancy?
No. Then, next question.
Next question.
Love to.
Next question. Russia, they, for obvious reasons, is a fairly safe place. Do you think America's a safer place or a dangerous place to live? We always hear, don't we, the generalisation, you can't walk at nights in America. What's been your experience?
I don't walk at night, basically.
He gets mugged for his diamond boots.
I get mass. I prefer living over here, but I mean, it's a dangerous, everywhere in the world is dangerous.
Is this your favourite country, Britain?
I would think so, yes, that's why I live here. I wouldn't live here if it wasn't.
No, you still haven't moved, despite all the rumours.
Despite all the rumours, no, it's a great country, but I mean, we have the same problems as every other country has. In the world, it's a materialistic world we're living in, and greed and money. That's what people think about now. I went to China with about 6 years ago with a football team, and then we went back last year. And the difference, I mean, people sort of have it like a horse and cart with sort of rice on it, and then 4 years later, they'd have a microwave oven on it and a refrigerator. And before the football games, 6 years ago, the crowd couldn't even shout. They were told not to even shout. And then they played Madonna records. It's a whole new ball game. Materialism is taking over the world, folks. Yes.
With that quick reminder that his boots are being auctioned at Sotheby's.
Yes, yes, this diamond brooch is on sale as well later on.
That's right. I feel very attached to these, as I say.
We must sadly take a very quick break, yes.
He's had a wild and exciting life, and part 2 of his book comes out on Thursday. And then that's
You haven't got the Moody Blues as well, have you?
We've also got the Moody Blues. Funny you should say that.
That's
Justin and John. And on Friday, who have I got on Friday?
We have
Al
got Nelson
Kogan,
Mandela.
no, sorry about that, no. Nelson Mandela, no.
There's a Nelson Mandela concert.
Too expensive.
There is.
We should do something about that.
We probably will on Friday.
Yeah.
Don't know what. Wait
Oh, that's good.
and watch this spot.
Well, as a potential viewer, Elton John, because I know occasionally you do tune
I
in
do
and
watch
have
the
a look.
television, yes.
I think that's a good week, next week.
Yeah, I
basically.
think Senator Gary Hart writing for Mills and Boon is an absolutely wonderful. I mean,
bad.
I can't
It's
believe
extraordinary,
it.
isn't it?
It's like Barbara Cartland running for president, really, isn't it? I mean, like, you know, the pink is in.
It's funny you should say that.
Yeah.
Oh, you know something we don't?
No.
If you're throwing away your past, Elton, which is a bit sad, well, you're not actually throwing away all your past, but some of the objects of it, you wouldn't throw away your music, would you? I mean, which, when you look back, are still your favourites in your
And which are the ones
repertoire?
you would sell off?
Do you have a favourite?
I don't actually have a favourite, although of all the songs I've written, I always sing your song practically in every show, because you can do that in different ways.
And Candle in the Wind?
No, I had like a few years sabbatical and I bring it back. There won't be any more Benny and the Jets, Yellow Brick Road, Saturday Night's Right for Fighting, I don't think. In the next shows that I do, I've really got to start doing something different, otherwise you end up like Neil Sedaka, don't you? So, you know, I mean, I can't sing those songs all the time. They were really nice songs, and maybe in a few years' time I'll sing them again, but you've really got to start again and have a fresh outlook on your creative ability, because otherwise you do just stagnate.
You've also got to remember, though, that the people who flood to see you
I know,
want
the
to hear
people
you
that
singing
buy
the
the
good old
tickets, they
ones.
want, yes, I
know.
but I mean, I've got such a vast repertoire, you know, like...
Oh, you have got a big repertoire.
Don't put your mother on the stage, Mrs. Weatherton, or something, your daughter on... No, but it's... Yes, you have to give and take when you play a live performance, but I just can't... Benny and the Jets, for me, is probably the most heathen number ever written. I hate it.
I do like
Oh.
Rocket Man, though.
No?
I
Rocket
like
Man.
Rocket Man.
Well, I'll see you later.
So what about touring? I know you've got a 6-week tour coming up in
Yes,
the
I'm
States.
doing a 6-week tour of Holiday Inns in the States. In a
exciting.
fishtail dress, disguised as Edwina Curry.
Oh, boy.
I should attract nobody, right?
Wait, Mike Morris has come.
I'm just going to go out with a new band, see what it sounds like. And then if the voice sounds okay, then I'll do a tour of Britain next
Oh,
year.
I see. Try it out on the Americans first.
Well, it's kind of an easy doddle, and then the tour is a 6-week doddle. So, and then if the voice
Tours are
sounds...
incredibly hard. Most rock stars sit here and say, tours are real
6
hell.
weeks is easy. I mean,
The voice, not easy on the voice.
How many
You
engagements
know.
in 6 weeks?
not that many. About 25, 26.
Oh,
something
that
like
sounds rough to
Yeah,
me. How is
it's-
the voice?
Voice, I think, is okay. We'll find out when we go on tour. I really don't know. That's the reason we're just doing a short tour, which is a 6-week tour, is a short tour.
Well, meanwhile, you're promoting an album,
Yeah.
and the single, I Don't Want to Go On With You Like That.
Very good, Anne.
Yeah.
Very good, yes.
Oh,
Right.
I thought you were finishing the interview.
Yeah.
Oh, I see, yes.
Oh, sorry.
There isn't an awful lot of time to
Link
go
to
on like
George.
this.
Fancy
Exactly,
Reg
it's runner
White
time.
on sale at Sotheby's. Now, you've
Link,
really
Link to
achieved
George
fame,
mean,
haven't you?
Reg White, Sotheby's, yeah.
On sale at
Well, listen, if
Sotheby's.
Andy Warhol can get rid of a cookie jar at $23,000, there's hope for those shoes, isn't there, really? You can grow plants in them.
Well, yes, you'd have to think of some use for them. Anyway, look, it's great to have you in. It always is. Best of luck with the single.
Thank you very
Let's
much.
hope it's your first British #1 again. Every time, I just find
No,
it
well, I
incredible
think,
that you still haven't had a #1 single in Britain.
The day I have a #1 is the day Edwina Currie becomes popular, I think.
No, look, come on.
Good old
Watch
Edwina,
it.
yeah. No, come on now, I know you have a hot spot for
No,
Edwina. Yeah. Come
Eat
on,
less
Mike.
chips.
Eh?
Eat fewer chips.
Eat fewer
that
chips.
right?
And now you've been
Yeah.
wondering what Link to George means. You might
Link
as
to
well
George.
introduce
Yeah.
George there at
Right.
the weatherboard
Ah.
as your final gesture on
George.
this morning's programme.
On the weatherboard, right now. Here we go.
Take it away.
Thank you, Elton. Well, today the weather is a bit of a mixed bag. We've got a bit of a north-south divide to start off with this morning. Low pressure up there on the northwest British Isles today, as it's scheduled to, but you can never tell. We could have some nice weather on the way with low pressure down in the Atlantic. It could be a nice weekend. I shall see you very soon. Back to Anne and Mike.
Georgina, thank you very much. Yeah, just time to say thank you very much to Jason and Elton John for being with us
Not
this morning.
particularly in that order, by the way.
No.
No, it could be the other way around.
Yeah.
And Edwina, right? Yeah.
And Edwina Currie for making...
And
yes,
long live the North, that's what I say.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
quite right too.
Enough of this. Timmy Mallet and
No,
Wackaday coming
enough of
shortly,
this.
aren't they?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, Timmy Mallet would probably quite like to come
Yeah.
along to
We'll
Sotheby's
buy
and
them
buy
for
these,
him.
wouldn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, lovely. Yes, he's saying so at the other end of the studio.
It is now-
Wackaday is here after 9.
It's now 6 seconds to 9 o'clock, so let's get straight away over to the newsroom where we'll meet again. Gordon Honeycomb. Good morning to you, Gordon.